Choosing the wrong ruminant for your farm is the absolute fastest way to burn through your capital. Many enthusiastic producers start their agricultural business by getting carried away by an animal's appearance or a passing fad at the local auction. They buy a flock, turn them loose in the pasture, and a few months later realize they made a grave mistake. Veterinary bills quickly skyrocket, animals lose weight, fences end up destroyed, and the farm's cash flow grinds to a halt. Today, we're going to make sure that scenario never happens to you. We're going to put two heavyweights of commercial meat production head-to-head: the Dorper sheep and the Boer goat. Forget boring theory. We're here to translate their biology directly into your bottom line. We will carefully analyze their main operational differences, what particular type of terrain each demands, and how they truly impact your precious, hard-earned time and pocketbook on a daily basis. By the end of this technical analysis, you will know which species will transform your land into a highly profitable, efficient, and well-managed farm enterprise. Let's begin. To understand how these species protect your bank account, we first have to look at where they come from. Both breeds were developed in South Africa, an unforgiving environment where severe droughts kill off weak livestock. Have you ever had to haul hundreds of gallons of water in the middle of summer because your waterers dried up? It's exhausting work that consumes hours you're paying your employees for. Dorper sheep were created by crossing desert breeds with British lines to produce a hair sheep that tolerates extreme heat and eliminates the annual expense of shearing. Their ability to conserve water means fewer trips with the tanker. Meanwhile, the Boer goat developed its thick skin and red head as a natural shield against the intense sun. This thermal tolerance means fewer losses from heat stress and less cash wasted on building expensive artificial shade. Knowing how to leverage this innate climate resistance is the first step to reducing the fixed costs of your livestock project from day one. When you make the environment work for you, your operation's profit margins will steadily soar. Now, let's look at feeding behavior, the factor that dictates whether your pastures generate revenue or just devour resources. First, you need to be brutally honest about the state of your land. The Dorper sheep is a natural grazing machine. They're pasture-based animals that process cellulose with high efficiency, converting average quality grass into pounds of sellable meat. If you have open plains, they'll clear the pastures with ease. But what happens if your farm is full of thorny brush, woody weeds, and high vegetation? If you put sheep in there, you'll undoubtedly lose money, because they simply won't eat it. This is where the Boer goat shines and saves you from hefty bills. Goats are natural browsers that seek their food at eye level. They're your built-in brush management team. Instead of spending thousands on chemical herbicides or hiring brush-clearing crews to clear the land, you turn the Boers loose. They'll transform that dense brush and those tough leaves into high-value protein, clearing your acreage for free while fattening themselves up for slaughter. Understanding this basic feeding difference clearly defines your management strategy and avoids massive operational losses during your first year. We need to speak clearly on a topic that few calculate until it's too late: veterinary expenses and the labor required to medicate sick animals. Internal parasites are silent thieves that steal your profits every single day. Because Dorper sheep graze right down to the bare dirt, they are constantly exposed to ingesting nematode larvae living at the base of the grass. That doesn't mean they're weak, they have solid immunity, but it forces you to implement strict rotational grazing and a rigorous deworming schedule. Every dose costs money, and every handling session eats into your labor costs. In contrast, the Boer goat has a mechanical advantage. Seeking its food in bushes and high branches, its mouth rarely touches soil-borne larvae. Its daily parasite intake is naturally low. However, if you make the huge mistake of forcing your goats to graze close to the ground in an overcrowded pen, their resistance collapses. The goats will get sick incredibly fast, and treating them will cost you a fortune in commercial dewormers. Don't delegate this operational responsibility. Check hooves and mucous membranes yourself every week to protect your investment. Moving on to the numbers that keep your accountant happy. Reproduction and growth are the engines of your cash flow. When livestock manuals say the Dorper sheep is a continuous breeder, what it really means is you don't have to wait for a specific season to make money. You can plan lambing every 8 months. This gives you up to 3 lamb crops in 2 years. Plus, they grow incredibly fast. A lamb reaches 80 pounds in just 4 months. That explosive growth rate means you get animals to market quickly, free up space, and recover your investment sooner. In the other corner, the Boer buck needs a little more time up front to develop its massive frame. But make no mistake, once they take off, they easily push past 88 pounds by 6 months of age. The Boer breed's ace in the hole is their kidding rate. A well-managed doe will frequently drop twins or triplets in a single kidding. That mass volume compensates for initial speed and aggressively multiplies your overall sales. Having more live kids walking around your pastures is the reliable financial insurance that easily justifies the slightly longer initial raising period. We've arrived at the nightmare of many beginners and the exact point where your initial infrastructure budget is defined: containment. The true cost of a fence isn't just the wire, it's the man-hours searching for lost animals or paying for ruined crops. Here, the Dorper sheep clearly wins by a landslide in ease of handling. They have a strong flocking instinct and are docile by nature. With a standard 40-inch woven wire fence, the flock will stay happily grazing. It's easy to move them through working chutes without stress for you or them. Now, if you decide to bring in Boer goats, prepare for a fencing war. Goats are smart, curious, and stubborn. If there's a small hole, a loose post, or a weak wire, they'll find it and destroy it. They'll jump, climb, or dig to get out. To contain goats, you need reinforced posts, much higher woven wire, and almost always lines of powerful electric fence. This extra investment in perimeter security is mandatory, and if you ignore it, your business will fail due to physical exhaustion. Properly securing your perimeter from day one will undoubtedly save you major headaches and keep your operational costs controlled. Understanding herd behavior also has a direct, measurable impact on your daily labor costs. Dorper sheep have a strong, natural flocking instinct, which means a single handler with a good sheepdog can move hundreds of head from one pasture to another in a matter of minutes. The time savings are incalculable when handling large tracts of land. Boer goats, on the other hand, have a much more independent spirit. They scatter seeking browsing opportunities, and if a dog pressures them too much, dominant females don't flee. They turn around and face the dog. This requires strategic management and greater patience from your staff. Speaking of the end product, profitability heavily depends on meat quality. Dorper lamb offers cuts with intramuscular fat that restaurants pay a premium price for, seeking that tenderness and softness of quick cooking. The Boer goat targets a giant market that demands red meat that is extremely lean, with much less cholesterol than chicken. Knowing what type of meat your local market truly requests defines your investment immediately. Don't simply raise what you like. Intelligently produce what you can sell fast in your region. Diving deeper into daily farm labor, the specific way these animals move across your acreage dictates exactly how many hours you dedicate to herding them. Dorper sheep possess a strong, natural flocking instinct. Whenever they feel pressured, whether by a predator or a handler working nearby, their automatic response is to bunch tightly together. This innate docility allows you to utilize working sheepdogs with surgical efficiency, drastically reducing your daily payroll expenses. Moving hundreds of head from one open pasture to another takes just a matter of minutes, producing incalculable time savings when handling large tracts of land. Boer goats, however, operate under a completely different mental framework and display an independent spirit. They typically scatter widely across the terrain to seek out the absolute best browsing bites hidden within the dense brush. Dominant don't flee. They turn around and aggressively confront the threat. Managing goats demands enormous operational patience, constant observation, and highly efficient corral systems. Every single hour your farm crew wastes, fighting stubborn livestock eats directly into your labor costs, hurting your farm's bottom line before the season even finishes. Addressing a critical resource that defines farm survival, water availability usually becomes the biggest logistical headache during the harsh dry months. Transporting water to distant grazing paddocks burns valuable fuel, causes wear and tear on heavy farm equipment, and exhausts your crew. Dorper sheep are genetically hardwired to handle severe arid conditions effectively. Their ability to conserve hydration means fewer trips with the tanker, as their unique metabolism retains internal fluids highly efficiently, decreasing evaporation through shallow respiration patterns and producing remarkably dry feces. If they consume green forage holding sufficient cellular moisture during early morning hours, they can comfortably go 2 full days without visiting a trough. When openly discussing severely arid acreage where surface water vanishes entirely, Boer goats take the undisputed lead thanks to their daily diet. By constantly feeding on tough leaves, rough bark, and deep-rooted succulent plants, they extract massive hydration directly from their solid forage intake. They effortlessly maintain excellent body condition and keep gaining valuable weight even when creeks run completely dry, ensuring that your agricultural business will not face financial collapse when seasonal rains fail irremediably. Moving straight into land optimization strategies, multi-species grazing remains the ultimate operational method where your farm generates serious revenue without spending money on external inputs. Mixing different ruminants allows you to strategically exploit every vertical level of available vegetation across your entire property. Introducing Dorper sheep right behind your primary cattle herd becomes a masterful financial move for any serious producer. While cattle graze the taller forage, the sheep flock follows right behind to clean up the remaining undergrowth, acting as a biological lawnmower. This immediately increases your total stocking rate per acre while entirely eliminating hefty bills associated with buying expensive chemical herbicides. On the flip side, pairing cattle directly with Boer goats in highly overgrown wooded acreage unlocks a brand new revenue stream. While bovines graze the open pasture, your goats aggressively attack the towering woody vegetation that steals sunlight from the soil level. By systematically opening up the thick vegetative canopy above, they allow dormant pasture grasses to regrow strongly. This brilliant biological diversification massively lowers your overall financial risk profile, securely transforming previously inaccessible weed-choked zones into highly productive economic assets. Stepping directly into the primary objective of any serious commercial livestock operation, the sale of the harvested meat is what truly materializes all your field efforts. If you bet your farm capital on Dorper genetics, you immediately target a high-end gastronomic segment that consistently pays premium market prices. These hair sheep are internationally renowned for producing exceptionally heavy, broad carcasses featuring beautifully balanced intramuscular fat infiltration. That pristine fat cover natively grants the meat spectacular tenderness and a mild flavor profile, eliminating that intense musky aftertaste commonly found in older traditional wool breeds. Delivering this superior culinary quality consistently opens highly profitable new doors to exclusive local restaurants, specialized boutique butcher shops, and direct-to-consumer sales channels actively seeking premium farm cuts. Furthermore, the truly remarkable genetic uniformity of this breed ensures that all your finished animals arrive at the commercial livestock scale, looking practically identical in size and conformation. Wholesale meat buyers love this visual standardization because it streamlines the butchering process. They eagerly reward that reliable uniformity by paying a more profitable price per pound throughout the entire calendar year without any hesitation. On the exact opposite side of the commercial spectrum, the outstanding meat of the Boer goat caters to a completely different but equally lucrative global market demand characterized by continuously growing sales figures. On a worldwide scale, lean goat meat is actually the absolute most widely consumed red protein, heavily driven by expanding multicultural demographic populations actively seeking young, robust carcasses for their traditional daily culinary dishes. However, the true modern goldmine surrounding this breed revolves around current public health trends. Today's demanding modern consumer requires ethically raised, pasture-based proteins containing extremely low levels of harmful saturated fats. The Boer kid provides an extraordinarily lean meat option, packing phenomenally high iron levels alongside a cholesterol profile that is significantly lower than standard commercial chicken. If you successfully market your harvested animals by highlighting these direct nutritional properties, you capture a highly profitable niche of health-conscious clients fully willing to pay premium retail prices for incredibly clean food. Your operational job involves actively educating your ultimate end buyer regarding exactly why your premium farm product directly improves their family's daily nutrition and overall physical well-being. Projecting your agricultural enterprise into the distant future, the actual functional longevity of your maternal breeding stock strictly determines how many times you must reinvest capital in fresh genetics to avoid bankruptcy. Dorper sheep serve as highly productive maternal bases, but their accelerated lambing rhythm can wear them out faster if your farm's nutritional management suffers drastic seasonal drops. Generally speaking, a solid breeding ewe will safely provide roughly 5 years of excellent lamb yields before her daily milk production noticeably declines and you must cull her. They require you to manage your flock replacement strategy with strict financial discipline, always keeping your absolute best female lambs as valuable future replacements. In sharp contrast, Boer goats boast impressive bone density and metabolic hardiness that frequently grants them a longer reproductive lifespan in extremely rough environments. A phenomenal maternal doe can continue weaning heavy kids well into 8 years of age without major issues, provided her hooves and gums remain healthy from browsing high branches. This remarkable durability drastically lowers your annual amortization cost per animal and heavily stabilizes your entire core production base over time. To map out the final operational strategy before signing any heavy capital investment checks, you must ruthlessly audit your acreage with a cold, commercial mindset. Don't fall madly in love with a specific livestock breed. Fall in love with the green profit numbers showing brightly at the end of every single month. If your farm boasts wide-open green pastures, relatively flat terrain, and you can reliably maintain a routine sanitary control program without labor costs drowning your budget, the Dorper sheep will undoubtedly be your best employee. They'll deliver heavy, premium-grade lambs fast, keeping your cash flow consistent and your operation profitable. Conversely, if you inherited highly broken, impossibly steep land heavily covered in towering woody weeds and aggressive thorny brush that absolutely no cow would ever touch, attempting to raise sheep there equates to pure financial suicide. In that hostile environment, you immediately need the specialized services of robust Boer goats. They will masterfully convert that entirely useless vegetation into hard cash, demanding in return an upfront investment in formidable perimeter fencing and patient daily management routines to ensure your long-term commercial success. Ultimately, the operational debate between raising Dorper sheep or Boer goats isn't simply about choosing which livestock breed is genetically superior, but rather about intelligently matching the biological machinery of the livestock with the natural resources that your unique piece of land offers. Forcing any agricultural species to live in a hostile environment for which it was never naturally designed will only end up burning your operating capital on buying highly expensive external feed inputs and completely unnecessary infrastructure modifications. Make strategic business decisions based on your direct operational profitability, and you will successfully secure peace of mind on your farm, ensuring continuous financial stability for your agricultural enterprise. Let me know down in the comments which of these two excellent commercial livestock options makes the most practical sense for your specific farm setup. If you got some solid value out of this detailed technical breakdown today, hit that subscribe button below and give the video a thumbs up so we can keep bringing you practical, highly profitable daily farm advice. To your success, fellow breeder. Until next time.